This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. Delighted to be joined here today by the body snatcher, Dillian Whyte. We're in Manchester the morning after Oleksandr Usyk's win over Tony Bellew. How are you, Dillian?
I'm good, man. Good nights of fights, I'm good.
Let's start off with the main event and work our way down. Oleksandr Usyk stops Tony Bellew inside 8 rounds. What did you make of the performance?
I thought it was a good performance. I thought Tony actually was doing the right things early doors. He was backing him up and taking the fight to Usyk, but then it changed a bit. Then Tony started getting backed up by Usyk, who's not an aggressive fighter. Bellew was the aggressive, rough man in there. I thought he needed to keep the pressure and keep roughing him up, but Bellew done all right. He done good, you know. Round 3, round 4, Eddie looked over and I said, "Don't worry, he's doing all right. He's doing what he needs to do," you know. And then the tide started to change slowly. I don't know if Tony got tired or what it was, but I expected him to keep pressing and keep the gas on a bit, but he seemed to ease off the gas. But you know, you never know. Maybe he was tired or one of the punches broke his nose or something. I don't know.
Were you surprised with Tony Bellew's start to the fight? Very positive start, as you've just mentioned. Were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised because, like I said, Tony's got something that I see myself. He's got that hunger and that desire and that resilience and stubbornness. I wasn't surprised. I knew that Tony would have been psyched up and gone out there to try and prove people wrong, you know.
Were you impressed with Usyk's performance? First few rounds, as I say, he was pushed back, and then he started to come into the fight, started to push Bellew back, and ultimately got the stoppage. What did you make of his performance?
I think Usyk done good, you know. I mean, he did everything that we knew he could do, and we did everything that he could do. But to be honest, I was a bit shocked that he stopped Tony. To be honest, I thought Tony would lose in points. I didn't think he was going to stop him. So yeah, he done good.
And obviously, before this fight, a lot of people are talking about Oleksandr Usyk moving up to heavyweight. You're one of the best heavyweights in the world. What do you make of that?
You don't want no heavyweight smoke. He will struggle at heavyweight because heavyweights ain't going to come in there to play no games. Heavyweights are going to come in there to go back. They're going to come in there, they're going to move forward, use their size and leverage and weight against him, you know. And that's exactly what I do. I'm not going to have a boxing match with him and stay out of range of him. I'm coming for war if I fought him anyway.
What about a potential fight with Anthony Joshua? I mean, we all know that you're essentially at the front of the queue, as it were, for the AJ fight in April. Usyk has spoken about his desire to fight AJ. How would you see that fight potentially going?
Oh, Usyk and AJ, I mean, I don't think Usyk's ready for someone like... Usyk ain't ready for no one in the top 5. None of us. He's not ready for none of us right now. You know, he's not ready for none of us right now. I think he moved up to heavyweight. He beat a few plunderers heavyweight at few of the top 15s, maybe early top 10s maybe, but the top 5 guys is too much for him. We're big guys, big punches, and we're aggressive, and we'll press the fight. And knowing when you fight someone like that, you have to keep the pressure on him, and we'll lean on him, take it to him, hit him everywhere. He didn't like fucking Bellew hit him round the side of the head a couple of times, was complaining. That was me. The first time he complained, I steamed him and carried on punching him there. And I thought Bellew would have done more of that, punched him in his hip, roughed him up a bit. But Bellew just seemed to box him a bit clean yesterday. I don't know what was Tony trying to prove. I don't know. He should have roughed him up and just proper mold him and dash him around, you know, get his elbows in and everything.
Now, I was at the post-fight press conference until the wee hours of the morning. Tony Bellew announcing his retirement. Do you think that's a good move, or do you think there's anything else that he could potentially give to the sport?
No, there's nothing else. You don't want to come back at domestic level and build up again. It takes a lot to do when you're losing. I mean, he's made money. He's won world title. You know, he's fought the big fights. He's lost and come back. Smashed David Haye twice. You know, so I think he's done enough. For him, he's happy. You know, he can relax and chill out with his kids. But I think when he retires now, he'll miss training and he'll miss being in shape and stuff. So, you know, you never know, man. It's boxing, but I believe he's done the right thing.
Elsewhere on the card, Richard Riakporhe, your fighter, you manage Richard Riakporhe, got a win over Sam Hyde. What did you make of Richard's performance?
You know, I think it's a good win. Sam Hyde is no chump. It was way better than what I thought it was. And the World School, Joe Gallagher did a great job with him getting ready for the fight. But Richard, he's only had 7 fights. You know, it was a decent performance, but it wasn't the best Richard ever. You know, and he didn't do himself any justice yesterday. You know. Because I know how good he is and you know how good he is, but the big occasion seemed to get to him and he couldn't get started, he couldn't get going, but when he did, he pulled it back from behind and he stopped Sam Hyde, you know what I mean? And he's never been past 4 rounds before, so He done good. He done good, but there's a lot to work. There's a lot to work on. We need to over talk to him about a few things, trying to just a few things, but he done good.
I appreciate it's very soon after the fight, but what do you feel that he does need to work on? What advice will you be giving him, manager to fighter?
He needs to get his jab going. Like I said to him, dude, you're 6'6". Use your jab. He needs to that's just the most simplest advice I can give to him right now. Use your jab and take the fight to these guys. You're 6'6". Use your advantage and your size. You know what I mean? Look at Lennox. Look at Henry Akinwanda. All of those guys. They guys use their size. You know what I mean? All the big guys use their size. You know, and that's what he needs to do. Use that size and impose that size on these smaller guys.
Now, Rich is somebody I've known for a while. Was interesting to hear him talk at the press conference on Thursday about on Wednesday, sorry, about his Thursday, sorry, it's been a very late night, about kind of his history and you know he's a very nice guy, but he's somebody who's come from a checkered background like a lot of fighters. Tell me a little bit about how you've kind of mentored him and how important it's been to for him, not just him, but other fighters to kind of find boxing and find the pathway.
You know, Rich has been a friend of mine for a long time. You know, I know a lot about Rich. He knows a lot about me. I just try and tell him, listen, keep faith, keep doing what you're doing, keep fighting, keep training, come to camps with me. I try and take him away from his environment. But, you know, the last fights, for this fight, he hasn't been around me too much because I've been up in Loughborough and I don't know what he's been doing in London. But usually he's around me. You know, I try and show him stuff, I try and teach him stuff, I try and hang out with him and try and, like I said to him, listen, you know, just keep the faith, keep doing what you're doing. One day when my plan get to where it is, I'll take you on and we'll try and do something. And I've done that now, but, you know, it's difficult, man, because you can be one way in one environment and you're another way in another environment, you know, and as you could see, Richard's come from a colourful background, but in the ring he was just a bit hesitant, which I was surprised about. So, you know, I just try to sit in, just keep your head down, keep working, but you have to be nasty. It's boxing, you know. It's boxing, you know. No one ain't gonna threaten you or pull something on you, or whatever. So you have to treat it the same way. Fight's a fight.
How important is it for him? I mean, we spoke about this over breakfast. The fact that he wasn't at his best by a long stretch, but he still got the win. Now, you said something very interesting to me that sometimes it's better to take a loss in that situation. Why don't you explain to me what you meant by that?
Because sometimes the win can give you a false sense of security. You think, oh well, I never did anything wrong. My punch power saved me anyway. I got it as a fallback. Sometimes when you lose, you peel everything back, you strip it back, and you're 100% honest with yourself, because sometimes with a win, you can cover up a bad performance. Say, oh yeah, I was tired, I was this, I was that, but I got the win. But sometimes when you lose, then you can't cover that up. A loss is a loss. You have to strip it back if you're honest. And that's what I do. When I lost, I stripped myself all the way back, and then I ended up in bloody Loughborough. One of all places, one of the most worst, boringest places ever. But you know, I end up there, and I've been there 3 years, and it's paid off. I feel like now I'm a proper professional, full-time athlete. So yeah, so that's what I mean.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I mean, I watched you from the shadows for a while in Miguel's, and I didn't really know you, but obviously knew of you. You seem now to be a completely different fighter. You're still the same person, but a completely different fighter. How important has it been for you to kind of take yourself away and isolate yourself in Loughborough, and how has that helped you develop as a fighter?
It's very important, because in London, my whole family is there, my whole life is there, business is there, things is there. You know, there's a lot going on, and sometimes you train later than you should. Sometimes you move your session around. Sometimes you got to pick up kids. You got to do this. You got to do that. But Loughborough is just far enough. Just 3 hours. It's far enough for no one not to bother me, or for me not to think about, oh, I need to go to London to do this or to do that. I just think, I can't be bothered with driving 3 hours, you know what I mean? So it allowed me to focus and allowed me to concentrate on what I need to concentrate on. And then I just train 3 times a day. I go gym, I go to my hotel, gym to my hotel, gym to my hotel. I'm back. That's all I do. So yeah, it's just giving me that focus and that drive. And then I'm working with professionals. I was training by myself, a few people here and there, working with professionals who's consummate professional, pushing me right, all my numbers down, all my stats down. I got to do skin folds every week, this and the other. So if I'm not improving in any area, then they're like, well, what's going on? Why is this not changing? Why is your skin's not going down? Why is your weight this? Why is your numbers this and that? And sometimes it's funny, because sometimes your weight might be the same, but your body fat might be lower. You know what I mean? So, but if you're just doing it by yourself and you're the same weight, you're thinking, oh man, I'm not changing. But you could be the same weight, but you just lost fat and gained muscle. So very interesting. It's very, very interesting and intriguing for me.
I've heard you're quite something on the rowing machine. Tell me about that.
I'm alright. The raw is it's a bitch. It's a real bitch, but it's alright. It's alright. I think my 1K is 3 minutes 12 seconds. That's not bad. That's not bad. Gear 10, 3 minutes 12 seconds. I can do a 100-meter row in 13.6 seconds. But that's like I ain't done that for a while. I've been doing it in like 14.4, 14.5. I ain't done that for a while. But yeah, that's just see. It's very interesting, man, because flat out 100 meters, I probably can do it in about 12 seconds or something, just one. But when you think, okay, I blast this one, I got another, how much more left to go? So it's very intriguing. I mean, you have to test yourself and hold on, and very, very intriguing. But the rower is one piece of machinery at the gym that's you never really see much people. I imagine someone doing some slow rolls in it. That's for a reason.
You're somebody who didn't enjoy an extensive amateur background. Still relatively inexperienced, both amateur and professional. With the move to Loughborough and kind of the fights that you're fighting, how much more do you think you've got to develop as a fighter?
Probably another 30%. There's probably another 30% to go over my career. Mentally, physically, technically, strength, conditioning, aesthetic. There's probably another 30% to go.
Elsewhere on the card last night, another heavyweight fight. Dave Allen, your old opponent, your old friend, was involved in an exciting fight, a lot more competitive than certainly most people were expecting. What were your thoughts on his fight with Bracamonte?
Dave Allen, Dave's a great guy. Character is a great guy. Dave's a funny guy. The people's behind him. I'm glad to see him doing well. But my only worry is he taking this serious enough, or has it become a bit of a pantomime to him? That's the only worry. Is he taking it serious? Because he should be blowing that guy over. I know that guy is tough, whatever, but he made hard work of it. He should be blowing that guy over in 3-4 rounds. He's experienced enough. He's had the fights, and he's fought good fighters. So he should be blowing those guys away in 3 rounds. But so I don't know, man. I just hope he's not letting all the fame and all of that stuff get to his head, and then he's taken away from the training side of things.
Now, he's supposed to have been, he's scheduled to fight on the Kell Brook card on December the 8th. He's also rumoured to be fighting on your undercard against Derek Chisora, which we'll come on to later. Eddie told me last night that he doesn't want to see him fight for the rest of the year. Is that something you'd agree with?
Well, I think if he wants to fight again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Eddie seems to be looking after him, but I think he shouldn't fight December 8th. He should relax, have time off, and just fight December 22nd. Fight Tom Little or someone like that. Then we'll really see what sort of level he is, or where he's at, because he should be, he should beat someone like Tom Little if he's going anywhere. Tom Little is a great test for anyone, Tom will give you work for 4 rounds. Tom will give you hand speed and work, So if Dave can beat the likes of those guys, then he stands a chance of becoming British champion, Now,
last night we also saw you come face-to-face with your opponent on the 22nd, your old pal, Derek Chisora. Went face-to-face for the first time since the announcement press conference. Tell me about that.
It was alright. It's just, I don't feel no animosity towards Derek or no. Which is alright. It's another person I'm fighting. He's just another person I'm fighting, really. The first time around, I was very psyched. I was hamped. I wanted to bash him from pillar to post. So this time, I just want to bash him. It's just want to beat him up this time. I just want to just close the book this time. That's all. It was a strange feeling. It was cool. I was relaxed. I wasn't really, wasn't saying anything there. The only good thing is his breath didn't stink this time. He did last. I think David started him to brush his teeth or something.
When you fought a guy once, do you look back on the first fight? Are you going to be taking things from the first fight, or are you approaching this as a new fight, as it were?
I'm approaching a new fight because now he's washed Chisora and now he's working with David Haye. Because obviously I believe Dunchar's the shit trainer and Dunchar's couldn't get him up to the fight. So I think David is going to bring him something new to the table. So we'll see. So I'm training for the Chisora, the young, strong, brave Chisora that we saw back in the day, early in his career. I'm not training for the old donkey that he is now,
What did you make of his win over Carlos Takam?
Boy, I'm worried about him because he took some punches in that fight. If he's going to come and fight me and sit in the ropes like that, he's going to get knocked out. So let's see. This is important.
Just picking it up there. It's no problem. What do you make of the link up with David Haye? Eddie Hearn told me that it made negotiations easier. Just your thoughts on that?
I thought, David is an egotistic maniac. He's a bit of a madman, but he's got more sense than Chisora. And David wants his free money. There's one with David. David's about this money, So, he tried to throw a spanner in the works, but then when they saw he was about to move on and fight someone else, then David's actually got sense because Chisora's stupid. Chisora is the kind of guy that said, no, because we were meant to fight after the rematch. We were meant to fight February the following year. And then he went, no. He went and fought Usyk-Bellew and lose. If Chisora fight me, he would do right, fight someone else who would lose. He'll make money if you fight me. Fight someone else 100 grand and lose and then just stink the place out like he did last time. So David's got sense and David actually knows business work. And like Derek doesn't know anything. The only thing Derek knows what to do is to take punishment and try and administer it back. That's all.
What are you expecting in the build-up? David Haye is somebody who is not shy of a word or two. You two have had a back and forth that goes back a long time. Are you expecting you and David to clash in the build-up to this fight?
I'm not clashing with no one. I'm just hoping David don't broke Don Charles' jaw again. That's what I'm hoping him and Don Charles don't fall out and he have to bang Don Charles out again. That's what I'm hoping. That would be mad, innit? David Haye switch on Don Charles and bang him up before the fight. That would be mad.
Do you think that kind of history that they've got, well-documented history that they've got, has the potential to flare up between them in the build-up to your fight?
If it was me, I would be working with someone that's just shattered my jaw, But listen, boxing is full of hypocrites, man. Boxing full of hypocrites. You think Chisora was threatening to shoot David, he's going to do this, he got bashed up by David in and outside the ring, then he bashed up Don Charles. Don Charles was saying he was going to do this and this was going to happen, and then now they're sitting down there playing best mate. Boxing is full of hypocrites and people who just cares about money in this game, people, like I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of record loyalty and certain rules I won't break, but that's me. But these guys, boxing is what it is, isn't it? Lots of guys in boxing are just fakes.
Why fight Derek Chisora now? You're at the front of the queue essentially, unless the Wilder Joshua fight can get made. By all intents and purposes, that looks like it's going to drag on a little bit. Why fight Derek Chisora now? Because
I'm the can man. Whoever won it can get it. Simple as that. If you're top 10 and you want it, you can get it. Or should I say top 5? If you want it, you can get it. That's all. Simple as that.
It seems like every time I sit down and speak to you, you're on the verge of a world title shot, and then the next time I speak to you, you're fighting a non-world title fight. Is that frustrating for you?
I might just make a world title for this fight, make my own world title, team body snatcher world title. I just bring it in there. When I win, I just say, Eddie, hand me this belt here, crown me as a world champion, and crown world. Man. This is boxing, man. This is boxing. I'm doing all right, I'm in big fights, because I'm in bigger fights than some of the world champions are in, So I just keep fighting and keep chipping away. Let the rest take care of itself, man. I can sit down and wait 2 years and no fight and wait, but what's the point in doing that? The fans has supported me. I'm being good and I'm selling out venues and stuff and being interesting fights. But every time I'm rolling the dice and taking risks, but risk is a necessity to become great.
Do you think it's something that might have frustrated you more earlier on in your career? Now you're a bit more battle-hardened, a bit more experienced with the whole boxing game. It's very, very complicated. Do you think earlier on in your career this would have frustrated you and kind of your experiences have settled you down a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I'm older, I'm more controlled, more mature now. So yeah, I just get it. It's business, isn't it? It's business, You see, it's funny because I'm my own manager, so I have to look at it as a manager and as a fighter, so I have to look at it 2 ways,
Now, the Derek Chisora fight was always kind of on the card, certainly always discussed and talked about. Other fights that were talked about were Luis Ortiz and Dominic Breazeale. Were either of those fights realistic propositions?
None of those guys didn't want no smoke. None of them. Luis Ortiz, we sent them 2 contracts. They didn't send 1 back. They didn't want no smoke. But everyone can talk rubbish about doesn't want to fight Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz did not want no smoke. None at all. Breazeale, we tried to fight Breazeale 4 times. Breazeale didn't want no work. You know, because Breazeale knew he was in a good position because he was threatening to sue the WBC because of the stuff that happened in Wilder and that beating up him and his cousins and whatever. So the WBC tried to settle it without it getting to court and then having a bad lawsuit, the champion attacking the contender, blah, 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 and the WBC was involved. So there was a lawsuit going on between Breazeale and him, so they promised Breazeale the mandatory slot against Eric Molina, who was even in the top 10, and he was on a drug ban at the time when Breazeale fought him. So technically, that fight shouldn't even really count, you know. And Molina could not become mandatory, but Breazeale could. So even Molina beat Breazeale. So it's all a mess. It's all a mess. It's all a mess. I was speaking to Otis Suleiman last night, and he, you know, as usual, he say, I'm sorry, you know, we're trying to resolve the situation the best we can, but it is what it is right now. Be patient with us, our champion, etc. So really nice guy, but you know, it's just business, man. You know, they're thinking, why are we going to go to a court and get sued for $1 million or $2 million or whatever, when we can just give Breazeale the shot. Breazeale's going to get banged out anyway. White's younger than him, bro. You know, who knows what's in these guys' mind.
Do you feel like the WBC protect Deontay Wilder?
Well, definitely, because you had 1 mandatory fight since he's been champion. One. And it took you 2 years to get round to him. Of course they do. How can they allow him to fight Tyson Fury instead of fighting his mandatory, his #1 contender? And I've been #1 contender for 1 year and defended it 2 or 3 times.
Just going back to Luis Ortiz, as you just mentioned earlier in the interview, you're the can man, and you fought Joseph Parker when I don't know the business side to it, but certainly from the outside looking in, there was no official eliminator. You didn't really have to take that fight, but it was a good fight for you to take. With that being said, how does it feel when people kind of level these ducking accusations at you with the Luis Ortiz bout?
I don't care what people say, man. You know, I don't care what people say. People can say what they want. I know how far I've come from what I have to do to get to where I got to get to. I know where I'm at. I know where I'm going. So, why does it matter? Some idiots at home sit and tweet and talk crap. That doesn't bother me. That don't affect me. You know, that just helps my following grow and help my popularity grow. So, keep doing it, guys. Thank you for the free publicity.
Of all 3 fights, Chisora, Ortiz, Breazeale, which one is the easier fight for you? Which one's the easiest?
None of them. They're all hard fights because Chisora is going to come fired up. He wants revenge. Ortiz wants revenge after losing to Wilder. Breazeale wants revenge after losing to Joshua, you know what I mean? So, they're all hard fights, man. They're all hard fights. None of them ain't more difficult than the other, you know. None of them ain't. You know, they're all very, very hard fights. All these fights I'm having, they're very, very hard fights. People, it's funny because now people is not really giving the credit, but years from now they're going to look back and say, wow, he fought this guy, he beat that guy, fought that guy, beat that guy, oh, wow, back-to-back fights. Then they're going to be like, oh, wow. But then it's too late. I'm retired and run off into the night.
Now, I've alluded to it earlier on in the interview, your fight with Joseph Parker. Now you've had a little bit of time to settle and reflect on that. What did you make of your performance against Joseph Parker?
It was a hard performance, hard, grueling performance. But when you're fighting some guys like that, you have to take them down, man. You have to do what you have to do. You have to trap them and beat them up. And, you know, take them away from their strength. You know, in that fight, I had a broken hand, a broken rib. I had a chest infection, but I'm not one for making excuses. The chest was mine. I decided to fight. I could have pulled out of the fight and let everyone down. I didn't. You know what I mean? But I went in there. Parker was good. Parker, people's writing Parker, but it was a big mistake. You know, this guy is fighting an undefeated guy that's taking him on. He's gonna get knocked out. You know, Parker's a good fighter. He's not a chump. And I'll tell you, someone's a chump. He's not a chump. Trust me. And he's tough because the punches I put him down with, he got up. I shake him off like there was nothing. And I'm very heavy-handed.
The final round saw you put down to the canvas for only the second time in your career. What was going through your mind at that point?
No, my mind was like, no. You don't get fixed again, my friend. Take the knee this time and regroup and come back. 'Cause that's the first time I tried to brawl out when I was hurt, but this time my smarts kick in and say, don't do it, my friend. Just take the knee, get the count, recover your bearings, get back up and fight on. And that's what I did.
So it's the experience of kind of the Anthony Joshua fight that allowed you to survive and kind of see your way through the 12th round against Parker.
Yeah, of course. Life is all about progression, man, and I'm progressing. If I just keep making the same mistake over and over again, then what's the point? If you're not learning, mistakes are right, but as long as you learn from them.
Anthony Joshua, is that a fight that you want April next year, or is it a fight that you can kind of take or leave? I mean, that fight will kind of always be there between you and AJ, regardless of what happens in your career. But is April the 13th kind of on your radar? Is that the fight that you want?
Right now, the only thing on my radar is December 22nd. After that, we'll see, But the Joshua fight is a fight I definitely want. But, I'm improving. When you're on the top of the tree, you can only go down. I'm climbing still, so for me, I don't care. If the deal is not right and the terms not right and the fight's not right, we won't have it. We won't have it. But if everything's good and it's beneficial and it's good and we're ready, then we'll have it.
Now, Eddie said that the priority for him is to still make Joshua versus Wilder. Do you think that fight will happen? I know you're not looking past your own fight. Do you think it will be Joshua Wilder, or do you think, all being well on the 22nd of December, it will be you?
I don't know, man. This is boxing. I don't know what's going to happen. Nothing is certain in this game.
Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, December the 1st. I don't think I've actually spoken to you about that fight since it's been announced. Why don't you give me your breakdown of that fight?
I think it's a great fight. You have to give Tyson Fury credit. Unlike Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury is not a coward. That's one thing I'll say. Tyson Fury is not a coward. He's been out 3 years. He come back, he fought 2 pumpkins, and he stepped up and fought the supposedly pound for pound #1 heavyweight in the world. That's what Deontay Wilder calls himself anyway. But, unlike Wilder's a coward. Wilder don't want to fight no one. But Tyson Fury, you have to give him credit. The man's fought Pianata and Soflora, whatever his name is, and stepped in and fight Deontay Wilder, who's a big punch and a big banger. So, all credit to Tyson Fury, and I hope he beats Wilder, because he'll beat Wilder. He'll come to England, there's big fights, and I'm one of those big fights, I mean, I'm that Wilder that don't want to fight no one, because he's a piece of shit, so hopefully Tyson Fury beat him. He's British, he's Irish-British, so yeah, I'm backing him.
You hope he wins, and you're backing him. Do you think he's going to win?
Honestly, if it was a bet, man, my smart money would go on Deontay Wilder, but I'd also put a bet on Tyson Fury, because you can never write him off. He's a weirdo, isn't he? He's a weirdo. He's a bit of a weirdo, you know what I mean? He can show up in the night and be terrible. He can show up in the night and be good, so you never know. Tyson Fury's one of those guys where you don't know I don't think he is self-noticing to do. He's a bit of a madman, isn't he? A little bit of a bit quirky and that, so you never know, man.
Do you think that Tyson Fury... Actually, I'll rephrase that. Do you think Deontay Wilder would have taken the Tyson Fury fight without the layoff?
I think he probably would have, because, he's probably thinking, Fury's a good boxer, but he ain't really got much power. All I got to do is land, And as far you look at different things in career, but I think Fury is capable of outboxing, because Deontay Wilder can't box for chips,
Is the winner or loser of that fight on your immediate radar for next year?
Well, sorry. The loser is not on my radar at all, because I'm progressing and trying to fight the world champions, so no point in me fighting a loser. But the winner definitely is. But if Fury win, there will be a rematch. If Wilder win, then they match and fight Joshua, so we'll see.
Appreciate, again, you're not looking past December the 22nd, but from your manager's point of view, not the fighter point of view, what do you envision 2019 bringing for you? Finally a world title shot?
Yeah, finally a world title shot, but you never know in this game, man. It depends on who fights who and whether they win, lose, or draw, you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see, man.
Eddie Hearn, somebody who you've kind of you've gone on record with me in the past and kind of said that, you know, you and Eddie sort of love-hate sometimes. How are you and Eddie at the minute? You've got a very wry grin on your face.
Me and Eddie's alright. You know, we alright, man. You know, the thing in boxing is the path is clearing up. The path is clearing up. And my valley is going up and 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 up. You know, and then, you know, we're in good terms at the minute. Me and Eddie's alright when I have a fight. It's just in the intermediate when he's gonna get me a fight and it's just long and I'm just like, I just want to fight, dude. Get the fight. And then it's just long and he's like, oh, no one don't want to fight. They want too much money or this and the other. And I'm just like, just get the fucking fight made, man. What the fuck? Once the fight is made, we're cool. You know, we're cool. But me and Eddie's actually, we've gotten better over the years and we actually alright. You know, we'll make good business together. You know, and my stock's rising and we're working well together. You know, sometimes obviously certain things could be better, but like anything in life, you know, that's just how it is, you know.
Okay, well, I won't keep you for too much longer.
I've got a 4-hour drive home.
You have got a 3-4 hour drive home.
And then I've got another 3-hour drive to Loughborough.
You training today?
I meant to go on cycle today for like 2 hours, but we'll see. You know, we'll see.
When I saw you yesterday, you looked very, very tired after training.
Yeah, I trained for like 3 hours yesterday, man. I did my run, then I did boxing, then I did weights because Rich was fighting, so I couldn't separate my training and I've rest in between, so I just done it all in one. I did like 40-minute run, hour weight training, and then 15 rounds on the padded marks. I was finished. I was in a venue like that yesterday. Yeah, go on, Tony, yeah. And I was just like, but that's what it takes, man.
Well, you've managed to stay awake during our interview.
I know, last time I fell asleep. Oh, shit. Last time I actually fell asleep. But no, it wasn't that because he was boring. You know what it is? It was just a long day. Yeah. These media days are long, and then sometimes I think you get around to doing it, and then it's funny because you have to try and train as well and stuff. So last time I was like, yeah, it's good. It's good, but, you know, you just think it was there last night, stressful night with Rich as well. You know, and then came back, sleep, and I got to get ready to go home now, you know, so yeah.
Well, it's something that seems to be a recurring theme, which Eddie Hearn actually likes to remind me of, but I do appreciate you staying awake for this one.
You didn't remind me of that?
Yeah. Because Shelley Finkel fell asleep in an interview that I did with him in Belfast.
Is it? Why? Are you that boring?
Well, you just told me I'm not boring.
No, Shelley Finkel says otherwise. No, listen, you forget, like, these interviews, they're long, and it, you know what I mean, if you had a hard day of training and stuff or whatever, you know, sometimes you get a bit, but no, I get it, you know. Thank you for being patient as well, Rob, you know what I mean, it's difficult, you know. I know it's difficult, and sometimes you think, oh, I've come all this way, this person is taking the piss and that, but, you know, thank you for being patient and that.
That's no problem, I appreciate that. I know you're a very busy man and I always appreciate your time whenever you can give it to me. So I appreciate that, but that's no problem.
That's what she says. She says appreciate whenever I can give it to her.
Okay, just before I go, I've been doing this thing lately where I've been doing kind of like word association-y type things. So I want to do it, try and keep it clean. I'm going to name... Don't look at me like that.
That's what I said.
Yeah, stop it. I'm going to name some names of some fighters, and I want you, word association, keep it short, keep it sweet. Luis Ortiz.
Old.
Tyson Fury.
Weirdo.
Deontay Wilder.
Chicken legs.
Anthony Joshua.
Stiff.
Oleksandr Usyk.
That's what she said. Ugly.
Dillian Whyte.
Uglier.
Derek Chisora. Okay, well, we're going to leave it there. Just before I go, Dillian, give a message to fans who will be tuning in on December the 22nd to watch you face Derek Chisora again.
Derek Chisora is going to get donkey punch repeatedly, whether it's 10 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds. He's going to get a donkey punch. Trust me. Tune in and see the donkey get donkey punched.
Okay, well, Dillian the Body Snatcher White, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Always a pleasure catching up with you, my friend, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you. Tune into Boxing Social, guys. Peace. Follow me on Instagram too and Twitter. Yay!